English paper is a skill you practice throughout high school and college, and possibly for your career choice. You will write several papers in any English course you take, and one style of paper is an argumentative paper. An argumentative paper is used when you are arguing for or against a certain cause or idea. You can argue the existence of something, whether it is ethical. You can argue anything, just it has to be kind of controversial. Typically, you will be assigned at least one argumentative paper a year, but you may be assigned more papers if you are in a rigorous English course like honors level or college. So today I'm going to walk you through the steps necessary to successfully write an argumentative paper. These steps will give you an advantage next time you are tasked with argumentative paper and help you write more concisely and efficiently. Our class was recently assigned an argumentative paper, and we are mainly tasked with doing the topic like the existence of something, and I was able to do Bermuda Triangle, whether it was real or not. I personally used these steps, and these steps helped me succeed. I did very well in this, and I would have to attribute that to my method. So by the end of the speech, I will have shown you how to organize and write an argumentative paper. I'll write down the components of a paper, how to make sure you're using credible sources, and tips that you can use to make your paper the best that it can be. So the first thing you will need to do is pick a topic for your argumentative paper. Your topic should be appropriate for the audience, has enough research about it to credibly write, and it should be something you are enthusiastic enough to write about. So as I said, for mine, I did the Bermuda Triangle, which I thought was very interesting. I thought it was very cool, and I was excited to write about it. Whatever topic you should use, it's very important that it's actually debatable, since it is argumentative paper. If you do something, say like whether the sky is blue, it's very obvious that the sky is blue. Most people will argue, hey, the sky is blue. So whatever you should do, it should have an equal amount of supporters and contenders for it. Otherwise, it's not going to have a lot of information on it, and it won't have a very worthy counterclaim. So once you have selected your topic, it is time to get an idea of how your argumentative paper will be set up. This is where your outline will come in. A great way to organize it is to separate it into 3 main sections. By the way, it's important to know that a lot of instructors who will assign you an argumentative paper will require you to turn in an outline. So this might be something you're used to doing, but this is how I always do it, and this is what helps me succeed. I organize mine into an intro, a body, and conclusion. 3 main points that we will actually later break down. So we're going to start out with our introduction. The introduction is very important to have a hook, a thesis, and maybe some background information. Your hook is what you will use to draw in your readers. And your thesis is where you will state your view on the topic, what you believe, and why you believe it. It should be brief, but it should give a very good basic summary of what your paper is about. For a pro tip, I put to give background information. I did this because it's very important to use so they have an idea what you're doing. Now, moving on to the body, you typically will use 3 to 4 main points. You can either make your third point your counterclaim, or you could do 3 main points that support your thesis and then a counterclaim where you acknowledge it and oppose. For each main point, it is very important to use evidence. You should use factual evidence, and you should use websites, books, sources that are very credible. Make sure a source is credible. It should have a association organization that's legit backing it. It should be a recent publishing date, and its author should be someone who's experienced in that field. So you will have 3 main points. For each point, you will have supporting evidence, and lastly, you will have a counterclaim over the third point, or you can make an additional point. You will acknowledge your counterclaim, and then you use evidence to prove them wrong and how you and your thesis are right. So lastly, you'll have your conclusion. You will revisit your 3 main points, you will restate the thesis, and you have a memorable ending. It's important to remind them what you've went over, to restate your thesis, to reensure what you're doing, and memorable ending because you want them to, you want them to remember what you're saying. So, now that you've heard how to compile an argumentative paper, in quality format, you can use this information anytime you are given an argumentative paper. I believe that this has helped me succeed in writing my argumentative paper, ones I have done before and ones I'm currently doing, and I think that it will help you. So, it will help you in the future as it has helped me. Thank you.